Hello. Greetings, friends. Greetings from the Northern Hemisphere, from Mountain View, California, unceded Ohlone land. It's lovely to be with you in this moment in time where it's chilly. It's a chilly morning here. So let us let us gather in community this day and continue our explorations with the practice of generosity, Dharma. And the invitation today is the culmination of 4 days of exploring this topic together, is during our guided meditation. Actually, we might as well just start, and whatever you need to know, I will invite you during the meditations. So let's just begin. Let's just begin. So, landing in this body first. Here, here, here. Transitioning from the busyness, from whatever has come before. Greeting, greeting this moment, creating this moment of being human, being alive in this body, in this form, here, just as it shows up. It has never been and will never be like this ever again. Greeting this passing moment with a smile. Mm. Arriving at your seat again, internally, arriving at your seat. Taking your seat on this earth. You are alive. I am alive. Taking your seat in this moment in time, in this body. Relaxing, softening, receiving, receiving the sensations of the body just as they are. Pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. It's all a gift. It's all a gift. The pleasant as well as the unpleasant and neutral. It's all a gift. Can we see it that way? Is it possible to open up just for a moment? Just for a moment. Receiving the breath. The breath is gift. Enlivening. Bringing life to this body. Receiving the breath in the abdomen. Lowering the center of gravity from our head, where it usually is, down to our lower abdomen. As if the abdomen, the belly, is an organ of perception. As if it knows, it receives the breath on its own, senses. And now I have an invitation for you to try on for size. If you would bring to mind someone who for you represents complete generosity of spirit, generosity of heart, complete. It could be a person, a being, someone you know, have known. It could be a cultural icon, someone historic, maybe like the Dalai Lama or Martin Luther King, or it could be an archetype that works for you. Whatever works for you. It can be non-denominational, could be the Buddha, could be Jesus, could be being of light. Make it whoever works for you, whatever works for you, or even divinity themselves. This sense of complete generosity, complete generosity, generosity of spirit, generosity of heart, which includes loving kindness, forgiveness, letting go, vast perspective, whatever, whoever helps you tap into this vision, bringing them to mind and imagine them saying, okay, let me show you what it feels like, what it looks like for this moment. And you invite them, please show me, please show me. And they agree. And as if they enter your heart, your eyes, your body, looking out through your awareness, inhabiting your senses, so that your practice of meditation with the breath, with the body, with awareness is infused with ultimate, gracious, open-hearted generosity. For some, for some it might feel, again, if it's appropriate for you, the eyes of God, expansive, spacious, or your inner Buddha. Make it personal, what is meaningful for you, based on your history and background. No shoulds here. It's just tapping into the sense of generosity of heart, however is accessible. And just sitting, resting. Nothing needs to be done. Sitting in with this perspective of expansive generosity of heart towards yourself, towards all phenomena, thoughts, sensations, emotions that arise. That's it. Simple. And if thoughts and distractions arise, see how they are met from this ultimately generous perspective. How does your attitude, the way you relate to yourself, to your practice, changes? Through the eyes of unconditional generosity. unconditional goodwill, openness of heart, generosity of spirit. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, but just to sit, be, receive, witness from this perspective. And if something arises, thinking, an emotion, heartache, how does your inner generosity guide your who's ultimately generous? How do they see, deal, approach what has arisen? Let them show you. Your inner generosity mentor. Let them lead. Expansive, spacious, abundant. This generosity of heart. Meeting everything, everything. As we bring the sitting to a close, appreciating, thanking your generosity guide, your generosity mentor, for gracing your heart and mind, supporting you in this vision. And knowing that anytime you wish, you can invite them to support your practice, to be filled with spaciousness and grace of generosity of heart and ease that brings. Bowing to this image, thanking, letting it go. And together, let's offer the goodness of our practice, our cultivation, our intentions for goodness generously as the best gift we have, the highest gift we have in this world. Share it with all beings everywhere. May the goodness of my life, may the goodness of my heart, my practice as service, support, bring goodness in ways I can't fathom to all beings, and myself included. May all beings know their own goodness. May all beings be happy and free. Thank you for your practice. So, hello and greetings, everyone. So, today being the 5th day of our exploration with this topic, so the guided meditation invited us to tap into, to invite this metta, the generosity mentor, this because we all have this sense, and yet sometimes we need creative ways to really access what it's like to have a heart of generosity, sitting with generosity, with what arises, instead of judgment, instead of grasping, pushing away. What is the spirit of generosity, spirit of dana, that can support all of our actions, all of the actions of our mind and the actions of our speech, the actions of our body, so all kinds of actions. So, treating generosity, as I mentioned before, in this short, beautiful list that one of you emailed and really appreciated. So many lists in Buddhism. This one is simple. Dana, generosity. Dana, sila, bhavana. Dana, sila, bhavana. Dana, generosity. Sila, ethical conduct. Um, moral conduct. Ethics. Non-harming. and bhavana. Bhavana, cultivation of the mind and heart, which includes both samadhi and vipassana. So dana, can see dana, actually, this generosity of spirit, both supporting the other two, really. So generosity of spirit. When we offer others safety from ourselves, it is offering, it is cultivating ethical conduct, morality, offering non-harming. It's an act of generosity when other people feel safe in our presence. So we can see that as an extension of generosity. And also generosity dana as the basis for bhavana, for cultivation and leading to liberation. So liberation, and this is actually quite important, liberation, awakening is not something you get. Awakening is not something you get. It's not a badge. Okay, I've passed the first uh, stage of awakening, enlightenment. I've got it. I've got the badge. Yay. It's not something you get, awakening. It's not a thing you acquire. It's a gift. It's a gift that uplifts you, uplifts others. It's a gift that uplifts your heart and uplifts others. So it's a gift. It's a letting go. It's a giving. It's a gifting awakening. You realize that awakening is a gift. Really, it's a gift that you cultivate to give to the world, to give to this being who is you. So generosity as the ground for awakening. And it is said that the two wings of the bird of awakening, one wing is compassion, the other wing is wisdom, wisdom and compassion, wisdom and compassion. And generosity, of course, supports both. It supports compassion. We know this because compassion it comes from the generosity of our heart. When we care for someone, or with self-compassion, there's a sense of generosity. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Instead of, well, it should be this way, you should be feeling this. There's a generosity of spirit that supports compassion for ourselves and for others. It's an act of giving. It's a giving of love. It's a giving of care, giving of metta. And similarly, generosity with cultivating wisdom. And I'll get a little detailed for a moment. So cultivating wisdom and seeing the three truths, seeing the three characteristics, the characteristics of existence. Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca, impermanence. Dukkha, unsatisfactoriness. Anatta, impersonality or not self. Not self, it's not personal. So generosity supports us, helps with cultivating wisdom, seeing these three characteristics of being human. So generosity, when you're generous, it helps you to see impermanence. They're intertwined. It is impermanence. Things come, things go. Yes, I let go of this thing, that either this object, my time, let go of, give you my affection, etc. It's anicca. It rises and passes. It's not for us to keep. It's not for us to hang on to. It's not, here's this bell. It's not for us. It comes, it goes. So there's generosity helps us cultivate and really see anicca, impermanence. Also, with dukkha, unsatisfactoriness, there is unsatisfactoriness with holding on to something, holding on to everything for our own sake. We know this, the sense of scarcity, the sense of tightness. that can actually create unsatisfactoriness, can create suffering. So generosity can help us see and work with dukkha. And perhaps most importantly, it's anatta, which is not self, impersonality. So ultimately, generosity helps us see that it's not about me, and it's also not about you, that there is no separation between the giver and the receiver. And on some level, there is no giver, there is no receiver. I'll leave that as a koan. It is said that the gift of the Dharma is the biggest gift. And I like to invite you not to just think of that as, being a Dharma teacher and talking Dharma, but Dharma is much more expansive, the vision of Dharma, what Dharma is. So you can give the gift of Dharma to a friend, to a colleague, to a parent with your presence. We say, don't be a Buddha. Don't be a Buddha. I'm sorry. Don't don't talk about Buddhism. Be a Buddha. This is often what we say at the end of retreats when people go home. We say, okay, because everybody's excited. They want to go home and proselytize and tell everybody to go on a retreat. You should go on a retreat. We tell people, okay, don't talk about Buddhism, but be a Buddha. Be a Buddha. So show up with kindness, show up with generosity, show up with generosity of spirit. That is the biggest gift. It's the gift of Dharma. You're giving a gift of Dharma to others. You're enabling their heart. You're enabling their Dharma, their beauty, their goodness to glow and grow as you support, as you give them the gift of your presence, your gift of your Dharma. Um, so, so we can all give the gift of Dharma with our presence, with the way we show up in the world, the way we can be a Buddha. You don't necessarily need to talk about it. And the last thing I wanted to, maybe I'll skip this part. There's so much more to say. Okay, maybe I'll say this briefly. Generosity of spirit is also thought to be the pillar of joy. And here's a reference for those who like to read the book by Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu called The Book of Joy. They talk about 8 pillars of joy, which is a beautiful book, highly recommended. Actually, I spent a series during happy hour last year covering the different pillars. And when they get to the last pillar, they get to generosity, which is the last pillar. And they say, oh, actually, generosity of spirit, in many ways, it includes all the other pillars of joy. It includes compassion. It includes gratitude. It includes forgiveness, humor, humility, acceptance, and wise perspective. It includes everything. So basically, if you practice that, generosity of spirit, everything else is included in that. And I like to end with this invitation that can we think of generosity, expand our view of generosity, this generosity of spirit towards ourselves, towards others? Can we offer everything we do, we say, everything we think? Can we offer our life as an offering, as an act of generosity? Can everything be a gift? Can we consider our life, the way we live, what we think, say, and do as an offering to others, as an offering to ourselves. What if we consider that, set that intention, even if we align for it just for a few seconds or minutes a day? It will grow. It can grow and transform the way we show up and the way we live. So with this invitation, dear ones, this brings to close this week we have spent together, which has been lovely for me. I thank you. I thank you for the generosity of your spirit in showing up, in practicing, in cultivating your heart for yourselves and for the benefit of all beings everywhere. Thank you. May you be well. May you be happy.